So I just felt like doing a video log, or maybe just a video rather, on a particular subject just to practice waxing poetic, I suppose, so to speak. I wanted to talk about the current state of psilocybin in general, like its legalization, how it's viewed in society, and the scientific research that's currently happening around it. I feel like personally I've benefited a great deal from my experiences on magic mushrooms. I feel like the amount of introspection and empowerment you feel when tripping on them is pretty spectacular. Even the sort of emotionally upsetting or challenging rather experiences I've had on them is enriching. Were enriching, I feel like, overall. I say this because they sort of allow what's really on your mind to surface and be addressed consciously. I think that it's pretty good to address root issues or things that are causing you distress in your life rather than being avoidant. I think that magic mushrooms are pretty great because, for one, they are non-toxic. The LD50 for them is incredibly high, similar to marijuana, how you'd have to eat like a crazy amount and you'd probably become quite full by that time, long before that satiation point. Uh, they are very low in toxicity. I feel like it's pretty cool how they are fungi, which are pretty interesting plant species or species. I think they're not quite plants, I think they're in their own genus or what have you. I feel like what I heard about fungi potentially being great at capturing carbon emissions in the atmosphere and storing them is pretty interesting and makes me think of my dreams involving jumbo as magic mushrooms just growing around the place. It'd be pretty cool if humanity got to a point where they embrace natural plant medicines like psilocybin rather than attaching some ignorant based stigma on them that is really unfounded and probably in the best interests of those at the top of the capitalistic hierarchy that's currently dominating the planet. You know, that same one that's causing massive amounts of greenhouse gas emissions and not giving a fuck about people. I feel like magic mushrooms help people to become more humanistic in nature. I feel like they are great at building relationships and helping you to prioritize relationships in your life that you find to be meaningful and are probably meaningful. They help you to be more positive and more in tune with your inner core values, as some people say. Being aligned and congruent with your aspirations and your underlying personality traits, just the things in life you find to be interesting and worthwhile, essentially. I think that it's pretty great that Australia legalized psilocybin and MDMA for therapeutic uses in terms of having them legally available for prescription for people with post-traumatic stress disorder and treatment-resistant depression. I feel like it's really no surprise that psilocybin is a good treatment for depression, and they have been scientifically, empirically proven to be as efficacious as current standards of treatment, like SSRIs, which are actually only efficacious for a small percentage of those they are prescribed to. And they lack a lot of the negative detrimental side effects that are associated with taking those medications. Those medications like SSRIs are overprescribed, I feel, and they often have very negative side effects, but they treat the symptoms of depression and other mental illnesses pretty well, but not really. They sort of numb you out and zombify you. Like a common reported side effect is sort of disassociation or disassociation with your emotions and making you feel like blunted. I think the technical term is blunted, not Americans most blunted, like just blunted, like dull. It does sap the vibrancy of one's well-being. I feel like magic mushroom is on the mushrooms or shrooms are on the other side of the spectrum and really allow you to be in the moment and sense the vibrancy of life that is always around you, and it helps you to perceive that more readily. It's pretty absurd, really. Like, the SSRIs treat shallow symptoms but fail to address the root cause of the issues that are plaguing people. I feel like the ones who have prescribed them. I think what I heard or read rather in a hypnotherapy book, this book called Trance Work, where they stated that things like depression, chronic depression, is really a social issue. It makes sense because the super reductive viewpoint of a brain imbalance being a neurochemical brain imbalance being the root cause of mental illnesses like depression and other illnesses is really reductive in nature and not at all holistic. People are more complex than just bundles of neurons and neurochemistry going about their business. In the mind, I feel like, we are more than just physical material in terms of that when you bring consciousness into the equation. I feel like personally, I feel like people are more complex than neurochemical reactions. So I think psilocybin is good for therapeutic use, probably recreational use too, or just use in general. I feel like there needs to be a lot of experimentation with psilocybin. I feel like the potential for humanity to benefit a lot from psychedelics is pretty vast. I feel like also lucid dreaming is pretty interesting, and high doses of psilocybin can induce, from what I've researched, pretty dreamlike states where you're actually placed into environments similar to like how one is when they are experiencing dreams or lucid dreams. I think lucid dreaming is also another very potentially beneficial phenomenon that humanity can tap into and make use of. I mean, famous inventors and artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Salvador Dali, as far as I know, made active use of dreaming techniques, lucid dreaming induction techniques, or hypnagogic meditation techniques to sort of teeter on the edge of waking reality and dream reality in order to enhance creativity, which you may have experienced when you're dozing off and have a really creative idea that seems very well composed and holistically whole or very complete, kind of. Anyways, before this gets too long, I'll probably just wrap things up. I can probably keep talking about this subject. I may do more videos. I think probably I'll upload this to YouTube, so I'm just gonna say please forgive the less than fabulous background, but it's the room where I'm currently staying, and so that's chill. In my opinion, hashtag gratefulness. yeah, I'm probably just gonna vlog more about my interests like hypnotherapy, psychology, philosophy, sociology, linguistics, um, and other things of that nature. Probably computer science stuff as well. Yeah, so anyways, I'll leave that there, and maybe I'll upload this video at some point today. Please forgive me for the less than amazing video quality. It's my MacBook's webcam. Pretty low quality Mac, but it's all good. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna leave that there. Peace out.